A very good morning. Welcome to this program, the Mid-Morning Park, today on Friday. Na kila siku ya Ijumaa huwa tunakuletea kipindi kinaitwa Men Matters Friday. Habari yako, uko namna gani? Wiki imekuwa namna gani? Karibu sana katika kipindi cha siku ya leo tuweze kuzungumza kuhusu mambo ya wanaume. Najua kwamba katika msururu wa vipindi ambavyo tumekuwa navyo vimekusaidia wewe sana kama mwanaume kuweza kujua mambo 1, 2, 3 hivi yanayohusiana na wanaume. Wiki imekuaje? Natumai basi wiki imekuwa sawa sana, na kukaribisha katika kipindi cha siku ya leo tuweze kujumuika pamoja nawe. Baadaye nitakuwa nikimleta mchungaji Reverend Sami Mahoya ambaye tutakuwa naye katika muda wa majuma mawili hivi. Tukizungumzia kuhusu topic yetu ya siku ya leo, ambayo bila shaka ni topic ambayo inapelekana na hali ilivyo. Unajua saa hizi ndio vijana wengi wamekwenda katika mambo ya initiation, kwenda kutoka katika kupeleka katika the manhood, wametoka katika boyhood wanakwenda katika manhood. Kwa hivyo leo tunazungumzia swala hilo kwa undani kabisa. Kwa hivyo leo kaa standby tujue hawa vijana wetu wakati ambapo anatoka kuwa kijana mpaka mtu mzima, hiyo transition inaendaga namna gani? Kuna umuhimu gani wa kijana kutoka katika boyhood to manhood? Is our program today. Kwa hivyo kaa standby mpenzi mtazamaji, tuweza kuzungumzia masuala haya. Mimi naitwa nani? Paul Kage ama Mr. Kags, yeyote tu. Natumai basi mambo iko sawa tena sana. Kwa hivyo our topic today is from a boy to manhood. From a boy to manhood is our topic today. Na swali yangu nakuuliza ni very simple. What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? Matarajio yako ni yapi wakati ambapo kijana anaelekea kuwa mtu mzima? Niambie kupitia nambari yangu ya SMS ambao kama kawaida ni 23814 is my SMS number, and then WhatsApp namba pia niko nayo 0721105105. Na the reason why we have this program today ni kwa sababu msimu huu ndio msimu ambapo tunapeleka vijana pale jandoni tuweze kuwatayarisha kuwa watu wazima. Ndio maana tumeleta hichi kipindi leo. Kuna wale ambao wanamaliza weekend hii, kuna wale ambao bado ndio wanataka kuanza. Kwa hivyo tunajua kwamba shughuli hii ni kubwa sana katika jamhuri yetu ya Kenya, na tungetaka basi tukusaidie kujua huyu kijana wako ama wenu anapoingia katika mambo ya utu uzima, basi tufanye namna gani? Na yeye pia akija hapo nyumbani baada ya kuwa wiki 2 hivi akisomeshwa na mambo kama hayo, anapokuja pale kwako pia wewe umsaidie kivipi? Na kuuliza swali moja. What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? Matarajio yako ni yapi wakati ambapo mvulana anapokuwa sasa mtu mzima? SMS me 23814 or 0721105105 my WhatsApp number. Baadaye tutakuwa na Reverend Sami Mahoya tukumzia masuala haya kwa kina zaidi. And when I was coming, kabla nikuja katika program, nilikuwa nakumbuka kuhusu hawa vijana wetu ambao tunawapeleka katika kiwango hiki ama kingine. Najua kuna wale ambao already wameshapitia hali hiyo, na kuna wale ambao bado ndio wako mbali, na kuna wale ambao wamepita miaka 2-3 imepita. Lakini baada ya kupita hapo, kuna wale ambao vijana wetu wanaona kwamba wamekuwa watu wakubwa, so they can do anything. Na do you know this story of the prodigal son in the Bible? The prodigal son in the Bible, huyo kijana ambaye akiwa pale nyumbani walikuwa na brother yake, na walikuwa wakifanya kazi tu hapo, wanasaidia baba yake. Baba yake alikuwa ni tajiri, ako na mali mengi, na this boy akasema, sasa hii mali tuko nayo, mimi naona kama nitaka yangu nipewe mapema niende nayo mimi nikajishughulishe. Na wengi hufanya hivyo, mpaka tumeona kuna mahali ambapo vijana wamekuta wazazi, na wengine mpaka wanatoa uhai wa wazazi eti kwa sababu ya mali ambayo wako nayo. So huyu kijana alipokaa akaona, mimi nataka baba yangu tumalizane saa hii. I think he was very young. Tumalizane saa hii, mimi niende nikajishughulike na mambo yangu, nipange kazi yangu mapema, ndio best. Haya, ndio huyu sasa kijana akaenda akakuta baba yake, akamwambia, "Daddy, nataka tuongee na wewe." Sema kijana. Dadi naye akamwambia, "Sema tu, usiwe na wasiwasi." And then daddy, kijana akamwambia daddy, mimi nilikuwa nataka saa hizi tu unipatie mali yangu, na si mali, unipatie urithi wangu. Daddy I think was a good man, or maybe alimuadvise, lakini the boy insisted anataka apewe urithi wake. He needed his inheritance right away. Baba naye akasema sawa, kama ndivyo unataka mimi sina wasiwasi. Na huko kuna bro mwingine ambaye hata hana shughuli, ametulia tu anafanya kazi zake kusaidia baba yake. Ndio sasa hapo baba akamwambia sasa kuja. Akamwambia kama unataka urithi wako ndio huu sasa. Kampatia vizuri, kiroho safi. Na kijana akaenda na hiyo inheritance yake. Akaingia mtaani kama kawaida. Tunajua hata saizi kuna vijana wengi ambao wazazi labda hawapo, wameachiwa shamba, alafu anajua sasa wakati shamba ameachiwa, sasa mimi ni kusonga mbele. Ama mwingine anapewa inheritance na mzazi, alafu anapotea na mali yote. This boy went, akaenda nchi ya mbali. Na hiyo nchi ya mbali ni nchi ambayo alikuwa nadhani amefanya research ya kutosha, kwa sababu ni mahali ambapo alikuwa amejua kuna raha mingi sana. Sijui kama tuseme ni wapi. Ni wapi sasa Kenya? Mombasa ni kule. Mahali ambapo ukiingia usipokuwa umejielewa vizuri unaweza kosa kurudi. Sasa huyu kijana akakaa huko, akabonda raha vizuri, ako na mali mengi. Unajua kuwa na mali marafiki ni wengi. So the friends were so many. Na wakampenda sana. Lakini along the way, I think this boy, let me call him a boy, because by the look of things, he was not mature enough. Hakuweza hata kufikiria hii mali nimepewa na baba yangu kama urithi, nitafanya vipi niweze kuinvest because of my tomorrow. Kabonda raha. Hey, wacha tu. Pesa zote zikaisha. Mali yote ikaisha. Paka akajipata kama tungesema ni saa hii, hana pesa ya chakula, hana pesa ya rent, hana pesa ya anything, yani yako tu zero. Akaanza kwenda kuokota mali barabarani, kutafuta vibarua hivi, analala njaa, akateseka sana. Tungesema kama ni lugha ya saa hii, paka alikuwa analala kwa mtaro, ama akakuwa tu yeye ni chokora, kitu kama hiyo. And this boy, baada kuteseka sana, he came to his senses. I love that word. He came to his senses. Akajirudia mawazo yake. Akasema, what happened? Nini kili happen na mimi by the way? Yani baba yangu ako home, ako na mali, huku tunakula kenye tunataka, bro yangu mpaka hana stress, mimi nimejiingiza kwa stress hapa. Itabidi basi nirudi home. Mtena niongee na baba yangu vizuri. Najua nilikosea, lakini because he is my father, I need to talk to my dad. Na kama nitaenda pale because najua nimemess, naenda kama nimenyenyekea kabisa. Ndio aniruhusu, hata kama because his father was very rich, hata kama nitakuwa mfanyikazi wake, even if I'm going to be his servant, I'm very okay with this. Ushaona sasa. And kabla niendelee, nilikuwa nakumbuka kuhusiana the story of a prodigal son and this dad. It can easily tell you, ndio huyu kijana akubali kurudi kwa baba yake, ni kumaanisha kwamba kulikuwa na uhusiano mzuri kati yake na huyu kijana. The relationship between the father and the son, it seems it was good. Kama haingekuwa mzuri, hangedhubutu kurudi pale nyumbani. And that's where we are. That we as fathers, you as a father, you as tomorrow's father, there's one thing that we must know, that we should always strive to create a good mutual relationship between us and our children. Right? It's very, very important. Ndio huyu mtoto wakati ambapo atakuwa katika hali ya mshike, hali ya pata shike, hali ya kukuru kakara, akifika hiyo time, he can easily come to you as a parent, as a father. Which is a situation whereby you have a daughter mwenye akiwa katika hali yake ya maisha, amepata mtoto kwa njia ambayo hakutarajia. Hivyo amepata tu. Can that daughter come to you as a dad with confidence to break the news to you. Anaweza ama asikuje, depending on the relationship between you and your child. And this is very, very important. And personally, I believe, and I have a principle, that unless on extreme situation, a child should not go through anybody else to reach the father. Personally, I don't feel it is okay. Unless on an extreme situation. Okay, kunategemea kama hali ni mbaya. Lakini kwa hali ambayo ni ya kawaida, si vizuri mtoto ati anangoja ati apitie kwa anti mkubwa, apitie kwa mama, atienda abia dadi sina 200 ya kurudi shule. Na akona simu yako, haizi kupigia direct. Because the relationship between you and the child is rosy. It's not good. And therefore challenge to us this morning as fathers. Let us create a good relationship environment with our children. Ni wakati ambapo amo katika hali ambao ni tete, anaweza kuja atuelezee one on one. It's beautiful when your child calls you and tells you, Daddy, mimi niko shule na ni kama pesa zimeniishia, sina chakula. It's so beautiful wakati your child anakuambia hivyo, kuliko ile mama anapigiwa simu, Mami, enabia Daddy, mimi pesa zimeisha, sina food. Mama anakuja na ngoja, nipigwa simu na Jane, atiana pesa, atimtumie pesa ya food. How? Direct. Prodigal son alienda direct to his father. Kwa sababu the relationship between the prodigal son and the father was beautiful. You can easily tell. Lakini yeye kijana ako tayari kunyenyekea, aende kwa baba yake amfanye kuwa mfanyikazi wake, his servant. And he went, kafika kwa gate, the security wakaenda akaambia baba, uko na mgeni pale studio, mgeni ati studio, uko na mgeni pale kwa gate. Na yule mgeni ambaye uko naye is your son, mwenye alipotea miaka mingi iliyopita. Who is back? Really? Akamwambia then, mwambie akaribishwa hapa. And this son akakaribishwa na baba yake nyumbani na maservants, alafu akaamrisha kwamba kila mtu sasa, kwa sababu mtoto wangu amerudi nyumbani, hakuna kazi ilifanyika tena. Akasema mpaka leo lazima tutamchinjia. Unakumbuka alikuwa anaishi maisha mbaya, mpaka haogi. Mpaka baba akasema lazima pia tafutie mavazi ambao ni mazuri, hata manukato mazuri, avalishwe nguo safi, manukato mazuri, arudi tusherehekee. And the elder son was very jealous, was very furious. Sasa huyu ametoka hapa baba, amechukua urithi yote, ameenda kubona raha huko nje, amerudi hapa. So it's not fair. Lakini akamwandalia sherehe mzuri hapo nyumbani, wakakaa, wakasherekea, and the dad again readmitted the son in his home. Sitaki kuendelea huko mbele. Because today, because tunaangalia how maybe to prepare a boy to manhood. Ndio tunaangalia vile ambavyo sisi wazazi tunataka kujitayarisha watoto wetu tuwe na uhusiano mzuri, especially we fathers. We build a good relationship with our children in a way, wakati mtoto ako katika shida fulani, anaweza kurudi nyumbani na aongee na sisi bila wasiwasi wowote. There are many children who are suffering kwa sababu hawana njia ya kufikia mzazi nyumbani, because uhusiano kati ya mzazi na mtoto sio mzuri. Okay? And therefore today we are asking you a question. What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? Nambari ya SMS ni 23814, ama ya WhatsApp ni 0721105105. Ni matarajio gani ambao uko nayo wakati kijana anatoka kuwa mvulana hadi kuwa mwanaume kamili? Tumo katika msimu huo. Kwa hivyo wewe unatarajia nini? Unataka wakae aje, wabadilike aje? So niambie kupitia 23814. 814 ama 0721105105. Na leo tutakuwa na mchungaji Reverend Sami Mahoya ambaye yuko ndani ya studio tukizungumzia masuala haya, na our topic today inajulikana kama from a boy to manhood. From a boy to manhood. Tunajua wengi wamepitia katika hiyo hali. Kwa hivyo today we want to look at that issue, kwa sababu msimu huu ambao tuko saa hii ni msimu ambao vijana wengi wanatoka from a boy to manhood. Kama uko na swali kuhusu mambo haya, wewe uko pale, uko na kijana lakini hujui huyu kijana atakuaje, mtamsaidia aje aweze kusonga mbele, tuandikie SMS kupitia 23814 23814 ama 0721105105. Naitwa Mr. Kags mwenyewe, niko ndani ya studio za MBCI TV. Karibuni sana. Mchungaji uko ndani ya studio.
Good.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine today.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe.
Right.
How is it going?
The going is good, tough.
Yeah.
But when the going got tough, we get tougher.
The tougher gets going.
Yes.
I think 2 weeks we have not been
2
together.
weeks we have not been able to be together.
Yes.
But we are back to continue with Men Matters. And I'm glad that you were able to carry on well.
Yes, we had Reverend Jenga who was around.
Yes.
We were talking about the qualities of a man, of a good father. I remember when you were here last time, we had an introduction of that.
Yes.
And maybe before we go to the topic of the day, maybe in a nutshell, qualities of a good father. In a nutshell.
I think, as I've just always said there before, a good father leads by example. Because the best fatherhood you can always have for your child is fatherhood by example. Children learn more by observing their fathers. They imitate their fathers. They take their fathers as their heroes. So when you lead by example, you are leading well. Secondly, a good father is also a father who is an advisor. Because children need your advice as a father. There is no advice in this world that will exceed a father's advice when the father is doing it with a good heart, good intention, and out of knowledge. A good father is, I've said is a good father is an advisor. Thirdly, a good father is a provider. You cannot just be a father because you gave birth to a child. You are a father because you are an advisor, and you're also a provider. You're able to make sure that your physical needs, spiritual needs, emotional needs of your child are met. So a good father is a provider. Number 4, a good father is a communicator. A good communicator. Children need to hear from their father, talking to them, telling them what he expects of them, what he doesn't like from them, and all that. A good father is a communicator. A good father is a mentor. A good father is a mentor. You mentor your boys, you mentor your children, you give advice, you coach them, and help them realize who they are. A good father is a friend. You need to befriend your children, because fathers need to be friends, not enemies to their children. So if you're a good father, you'll always form friendship with your children. A good father is a good friend. And I think, Mr. Kagi, one of the challenges we have is children who have been raised by parents who never made friendship with them.
Yes.
You fear your father, you fear your mother, and there is no time you have ever had a relationship.
And that is why I was introducing the program as you're coming in, whereby we need to make our children have an easy time to access us, whether a boy or a girl as a father, right? And I was giving an insight of a story of a prodigal son. I don't know whether there is a lesson maybe you can outline regarding to the story of a prodigal son in regards to the relationship between the father and the child.
I think, the context of the story is about, the context of the story is about our lostness.
Yes.
And the loving Father, our God, and how he gets us back, how he desires us to come back home and he celebrates us. Because the story of prodigal sons finishes by saying, there is joy in heaven when one soul comes to the Lord. That's the right context of the story. But we can always learn some secondary truths from that story about the prodigal son. That one of the things I learned is that, and I look at the father in the story, that number one, the father was willing to divide the inheritance to the son. But then the son was not ready for it. But he was willing.
Yes.
That also tells me why some fathers are hesitant to divide the inheritance to children, because they weigh and they feel maybe my son, my daughter is not ready.
Yeah.
I also see the welcoming heart of the father when the son realized himself.
Yes.
The father was able to welcome his son back. Yeah. He did not say, because you did not, you misused all that you heard, I don't need you here. The next thing I'm also seeing about the father is a forgiving father.
Right.
And that's a very key characteristic of a good father. You must learn to forgive your children, no matter what they have done, because children are not fathers. Yes. They are your children. And there is no perfect child. So you must learn to forgive your child as a father. And I would say there is no better home like a home where there is a forgiving father, a forgiving mother. So when this prodigal son came back, the father actually slaughtered for this man, a young man, and he celebrated him, and he welcomed him back.
In a bang. In a bang.
And this son was, until the other son was jealous.
Yes, he was.
That this treatment was beyond such a kind of a behavior. But a good father is always forgiving. A good father is restorative. You're able to restore your children back home, restore them back to the family. Don't just throw them away and forget about them. So I could say those two lessons. Yeah,
even before we go to our topic today, from a boy to manhood, there is one more disturbing scenario which happens within our families. You know, there's a Bible talks about no one goes to the Father without going through Jesus in the biblical context. But it's the one culture which is coming up. I don't know whether the problem is the mother, the father, or a child, that no one goes to the father without passing through the mother. Is a culture which is heavily in our families. That a son and a daughter can only access his father, even for minor things, through telling the mother, who then passes the information to the father.
Yes.
And these people are living in the same house. I don't know what you would say about that scenario.
I'll say, again, bring this story into the right context. That the scripture simply says that no one can reach God the Father without accepting Jesus Christ as the Son.
Yes.
So Jesus becomes the way to the Father. But when we bring this context to the family as a secondary truth, or we contextualize it to a family, I don't think that should be the case. I don't think that should be the case. We shouldn't really apply this kind of a scripture directly to our families, that whoever wants to see the father must go through the mother. One of the characteristics of a good father is availability. You must be available, because if you are not available, children will learn not to really address their needs to you. They will do that through their mother, because mothers know where the fathers are. So one of the characteristics of a good father is you must be available, that your children will feel we have a father here to talk to. Secondly is accessibility. Yes. You must be accessible. Some fathers are very hard to access. And when you want to see them, they still keep on asking, why do you want to see me? What is the problem? And the way they talk to you, realize they have blocked the child's desire to talk. There are some fathers, generally, they are not accessible. Then the other thing is lack of friendliness. You realize the father is harsh. A father is very abusive, tough and rough. It becomes hard for children to tell you about their needs. Yeah. So they may go through their mother. I always wish to advise all men, when you see your sons and daughters reaching to you, they have to go through their mother, you are the problem. It's not that the children have a problem. There's something they are avoiding. There is a confrontation they don't want. There is a face-to-face reality they are afraid of. And that's why they don't want to come directly to you. So when you see your children somehow are not able to come directly to you as a father, just know you are the problem. And you need to create a moment of rebuilding trust. Rebuilding trust, opening doors for them to be able to come to you direct. And you also need to create an atmosphere where the children feel free to tell you what they desire. So one of the reasons why this happens is because unfriendliness, hostility, there is no way children can come to you. But we cannot go to our father through our mothers. Yeah. A child should have access to the father the way a child has access to the mother. Both are your parents, and you shouldn't really have to go through the mother then to be able to reach your father. Then that's not a good father. There's a problem. Yeah.
Thank you. And today we are talking about from a boy to manhood, dear viewer. And we want to go into details about this topic. If you want to ask any question, if you have a boy there who is transiting to manhood, if you have any question of that sort, 23814 is our SMS number. WhatsApp number, you can text 0721-105-105. And I'm asking a question. What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? What is your expectation when a boy transits to manhood? Ni matarajio, unakuwa na matarajio gani wakati ambapo kijana anaingia katika utu uzima? 23814. SMS number 0721-105-105. Mchungaji, najua swala hili is very popular, especially this season, whereby this activity is happening all over. And before even we go to details, I don't know whether there is any biblical connection between this exercise and what is happening today.
I would wish to say that we are talking about a transitioning period for our sons and also our daughters. It's not just something happening to boys. Though we do not take our girls through a circumcision, but the circumcision going on right now almost in the whole country is it's for boys. I don't think it's okay to do female genital mutilation. But when we say whether it has a biblical connotation, I would say three things. Why circumcision was done and has been done from history to date. Number one, the reason why you see circumcision in this world taking place, I would say number one, it has a religious purpose. The second one, it has what we call cultural purpose. And then there is also what we call medical purpose. There is a reason why circumcision has those three angles of looking at it. And nowadays we have added another reason why circumcision is being done. It's also becoming something that every parent wants to do to their children, just a way to sensitize the children that they are transiting. And that's why you see even the church is embracing it. Those days the church was not involved in circumcision of boys.
All right. Before you go to details, I beg that you stop at that point. We take a short break. When we come back, we dig deeper on that matter.
Exactly.
Right, mpenzi mtazamaji, tuko hapa. Leo ni Men Matters Friday. Kama una swali kwetu na mchungaji yuko hapa, tuambie kupitia 23814 na 0721 105 105. Tuko na Reverend Sami Mahoya na kwa mengi zaidi usiondoke kanasi.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Launch into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. Luke chapter 5 verse 4. Welcome to the second season of the Kairos Youth Conference from 20th to 24th November 2023. Join us daily from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. as we delve deeper in faith with the theme, Launching Deeper. Hosted by Apostle John Kimani William and Reverend Naomi Kimani. The guest speakers include Bishop Jim Mwando, Bishop Jesse Ireri, Reverend Simon Chege, Reverend Evans Chumo, and Mr. Githinji Njogu. Come, let's celebrate and worship the Lord together, led by Pastor Jane Allaire, Pastor Zachary, Pastor Victor, and Naneu Njogu. The venue is the Kingdom Seekers Fellowship Nakuru, inside the Faith Chapel. We will also be live streaming on our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Kingdom Seekers Youth Fellowship Nakuru. Don't miss out this amazing experience. This meeting is free and open to all.
School Naivasha. MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Right, welcome back to the Men Matters Friday. Yes, today we are talking about boys to manhood. Wakati ambapo vijana wengi wameenda kutahiriwa, leo tunazungumzia swala hilo kwa kina zaidi. Kwa hivyo wakaa pamoja nasi. Tuko na mchungaji Sami Mahoya, anazungumzia mengi kuhusu masuala haya. Talk to us 23814 ndio nambari yetu ya SMS, pia WhatsApp 0721 105 and 105. Mchungaji, tumekuwa tukizungumzia kidogo kuhusiana na vile Bible inasema kuhusiana na mambo ya utoshaji tohara kwa vulana.
Yes.
The significance or what the Bible says about the circumcision.
I would say that number one, circumcision has been there. It's as old as 9,000 years in Africa.
It's not something that is coming.
It's not
today.
something that is coming today. And as you, I have said earlier, is that if you look at the book of Genesis chapter 17 verse 10, because I can be able to trace from a biblical perspective.
Yes.
You can trace the issues of circumcision from Genesis chapter 17 verse 10. And this circumcision was for religious purposes. The Bible says, God told Abraham, and God spoke to Abraham saying, "This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised." And this was actually a directive given by God to Abraham,
yes,
concerning every male child. It was a way of God sealing the covenant between Abraham and God.
Yeah.
He sealed the covenant through circumcision. But this was specifically for religious purpose. And you see, in Judaism, the issues of circumcision continued as a practice, as a religious practice for every male child.
Yes.
That's why you see, even when God was leading the children of Israel from Egypt on the way to Canaan,
yes,
they reached to Gilgal, and God told Joshua, these guys they were not circumcised on the wilderness. So go and look for a flint knife and circumcise them. Wote walitahiriwa na mawe. Vijana wengi sana na wanaume. Unajua ni vijana wanaume walikuwa wengi sana. Because it was for religious purposes. Yes. And God had said every male child among the Jews must be circumcised. And that's why Jews continued practicing this as a sign of obedience, as a sign of religious observation. And then I also want you to understand, the Bible also mentions circumcision in other several passages, like Romans chapter 2, verse 28, Deuteronomy 30, verse 6, Deuteronomy 10, 16, and Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4. It mentions circumcision of the heart, not of the body. So again, you hear the Bible saying, like Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16 says, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no longer stubborn. The Bible also look at the circumcision also in a different angle, where it is used here analogically, unaambiwa utahiri moyo. Uondoe the foreskin of your heart. Kumaanisha moyo pia huwa unakomaa, sio mwili peke yake. That's why I'm saying, from a biblical perspective, it was observed as a religious practice, but you can see it did not solve everything, because the same Bible keep on saying, now circumcise the heart, not the body.
Not the body, yeah.
I also want you to note that there is also another reason why circumcision is done, because it's traditional, especially in Africa. It's a culture. And it's a culture where the child is transiting from boyhood to manhood. So it's simply a moment of teaching cultural beliefs, tribal beliefs. It's a moment of helping the child understand that I was a boy, now I'm becoming a man. It was actually practiced traditionally as a rite of passage. But then it is also practiced for medical reasons. And that's why you see even those tribes that were not embracing circumcision some years back. Now they are embracing it, not for traditional purposes, not for religious purposes, but for medical purposes. The world is embracing circumcision for medical purposes.
Where does that come in? Because many people believe circumcision is just a tradition. Believe it is need to teach a boy, now you have transited to this stage. Why medical?
Circumcision is a biomedical imperative in 21st century because it has some medical benefits. When we are looking at circumcision, it was discovered through research. Men who are not circumcised are at a higher risk of contracting HIV and AIDS, STIs, and other diseases that really are connected to STIs and all that. One of the challenges is that I don't know what the doctor calls this foreskin, but you see when there is no circumcision, you realize that the boy is able to contract so many diseases because, you know, ako kanyumba kataweka magonjwa mengi na shida mingi na uchafu mwingi. Na unakuta daktari wana advice, walipofanya research wakaona those who are circumcised and those who are not circumcised, HIV and AIDS is actually so rampant.
To those who are not.
To those who are not. There is also the issue of sexually transmitted diseases, and you try to look at both, and you realize those who are not circumcised are able to really exhibiting a high level of sickness and suffering. The issue also have what we call the urinary tract infection. It's also so rampant among those who are circumcised, who are not circumcised. So circumcision has some medical value, not necessarily traditional or religious, but to make sure that you are healthy.
But I think this is an area, Mchungaji, which has really been ignored by the society.
Exactly.
Maybe especially, or maybe only for the medical sphere who are very keen on this, but other members of the society, they don't seem to understand the implication of the circumcision, medical implications. What we need is also some sensitization to the members of society, how important it is medically.
And I think when we're talking about circumcision, we also need to engage experts, doctors, because they be able to understand keenly how that medically is beneficial to the society.
Yeah.
But I also know it's hygienic. It is also able to prevent a lot of challenges, both in the families. You know, men are not always faithful, all of them. And with this kind of the world we are living in, circumcision for medical purposes is very important.
Yeah.
But we need to create awareness among all the men and women who have boys, that you're not just taking your child for circumcision because of your tribe, because of your religious matters. You are doing that because it has a medical value. And the whole world is embracing circumcision with a medical perspective.
Maybe before we get some street comment on this, I could recall there was a deliberate decision by members of societies to enlighten some communities or societies who are not going through this initiation of medical implications, and it really bared good fruits. Today, the societies which are not going through this process have really embraced it through the education from the civil societies, and many of them are going through it, maybe because of the challenge of the traditional repercussions. They do it in secret. But whether in secret or in open, the good thing, they have started embracing it due to the information on medical implications. Right. We go to the streets, we hear what public is saying regarding to the boy to manhood. Watch this.
Kijana akishatahiriwa anafaa kubadilika, awachane na behavior ya kwanza, so that mbeleni alikuwa mtoto, sasa ametoka from childhood to adult, so lazima kuonekana hiyo different. Na pia lazima hiyo kijana aonyeshe kukomaa. Akishatatoshwa tahara na bado endelee na ile kucheza na watoto wenye alikuwa anacheza na wao mbeleni, ni kumaanisha ule mtoto bado hajakoma, bado hajaachana na utoto. Kwa hivyo wale vijana ambao wanatoshwa tahara wanafaa waonyeshe ukomavu wao na kuonyeshana wameenda into another level. Juu ile level walikuwa sasa wametoka, sasa wameenda level nyingine, level ya, na pia wanaweza kujitegemea, hivyo mambo wanafanya mambo ya kuonyeshana wamekoma.
Labda tukupewa elimu na waambiwe mambo ya kujitafutia, maana sahizi kazi hakuna, watu waajiriwa na serikali, so ni wenyewe tu unakuwa na bidii ya kujitafutia, wakuwa na nguvu tu ya kutafuta, na wasitegemea ati kuna kuajiri nini hivyo, na maisha yanakuwa ngumu. So mambo kama hayo ndio nitakikana sasa wafunzwe, si kama kitambo venye watu walikuwa wanaambiwa wataendelea wapate kazi hivyo. So ni karibu kujitegemea sasa.
Wanatairiwa, wanapashwa tohara. Unafikiri wakati ambapo umeshatoka pale chandoni, ni kitu gani wanapaswa au vigezo gani wanastahili kuja kuionyesha wakati ambapo umeshatairiwa?
Wakishatahiriwa tunawafunza waheshimu wazazi wao, na huwa waheshimu hata masista yao kulingana na kwenye kwa hiyo kiganda kenye wanakaa.
Ama characteristic gani unafikiri wanapaswa kuonesha wakati ambapo umeshatoka chandoni?
Ni adabu na kuenda kama kanisa hivyo.
Your expectation kwa watoto ambao wametoka kutairiwa ni gani? Nini unatarajia uko wamebadilika vipi?
Si kitabia, like so waanze kubehave maturely. At least make a difference to the society. At least they become a leader to the young ones, at least.
labda matarajio mengine?
At least they be a good example. All I can say is they lead us a good example to the younger ones.
What is your expectation wakati wametoka chandoni? Sababu saizi tumeona si wengi wanatahiri saizi. Ndio wanatahirishwa. What is your expectation? What do you expect them to behave?
Honestly, I don't know how it is because I'm female, but I think it's a good idea taking boys out there and putting them and teaching them, making them come out as men in the society. I believe it is a good call to the society, and they should come out here and be the men that they ought to be.
Nasema mtoto kama huyo bado ni mchanga, inastahili tu nampea kazi kidogo hizi ili anakuwa aendelee kukua kimwili na kiakili. Aendelee kukomaa tu hivyo.
Lakini matarajio yako ni yapi wakati ambapo ameshatoka huko, kwa sababu akiwa huko ndani kuna mafunzo yanapatiwa? Je, wewe unatarajia kuja ishi vipi wakati ambapo ashatoka huko kwa chandoni?
So ile kitu ya kwanza, mafunzo ambayo wanafaa kupatiwa, wewe kama mzazi unastahili ujue ni mafunzo aina gani, kama ni mafunzo mabaya ama ni mazuri. So anastahili afunzwe mafunzo yenye heshima, mafunzo mazuri, ili akikuwa mtu mzima ajitegemee.
Correct. And hivyo ndivyo ilivyo katika kule mitani. Matarajio ya wananchi kuhusiana na mambo ya utozaji shoraha kwa wavulana. And many people are talking about how to have good manners, blah blah blah. But the question still remains: is circumcision enough? Is it just enough?
I think when you listen to all these people who are speaking here, one of the things you notice that people have embraced the need for circumcision, and that is a very good thing. Secondly, it's also good to also help us understand what the viewers are also saying, that bodily circumcision is not enough.
Right.
There is need for something else. A child just undergoing this circumcision, you know, circumcision is an event.
Very true.
Yeah, but life is a journey. Therefore, circumcision cannot be enough for child transitioning from boyhood to manhood. Everybody is talking about some changes need to be experienced in a child's life or in a boy's life. One of the things is that once a child or your boy has undergone this circumcision, kuna mambo mengine yanafuata. Kutahiriwa peke yake haijatosha, haitoshi. Sababu unaweza tahiriwa mwili lakini akili hauna. Unaweza tahiriwa mwili lakini moyo bovu. Unaweza tahiriwa mwili lakini bado una behave kama mtoto ambaye hakupitia. So circumcision is not enough, and that's why I say we must combine the three reasons for circumcision. We do it for our traditional beliefs. We also do it for our cultural beliefs. We believe it's a cultural practice. Do it for that purpose. There's no problem. Also do it because you see, even Jesus had a culture, and was circumcised on 8th day.
8th day.
So for cultural practice, there's no problem. For religious practice, I don't know. The Bible doesn't really require any Christian to undergo circumcision for salvation purposes. Huwezi kutahiriwa juu ya wokovu ama juu ya Mungu.
Ama mtu akwambia juu hujatahiriwa utaenda mbinguni.
Ama kwa sababu hukutahiriwa wewe huwezi kwenda kuona ufalme wa mbinguni. No, that is not the case. Thirdly, we also do it for, as I said, tahiri kijana yako kwa sababu ya medical purposes. But remember, circumcision as far as child transitioning from boyhood to manhood is not enough. Something needs to be done beyond there. So I can tell you, there is a bodily circumcision, but there's also a mental circumcision there's a heart circumcision, and a child also need to change their behavior, as the viewers are saying. They need to adapt a new life in a new stage. They need to change their heart and realize they are no longer children as they used to be. But circumcision, mtu wa Mungu, is not enough.
This reminds me of a situation I came through, a boy who had gone through an initiation. Na baada ya kutoka, baada ya kupona vizuri, nilimpata kule uwanjani akicheza soka na watoto wa class 2, 3 hapo ama 1. Na watu walijaribu kumwambia hapana, sasa unajua umevuka, umeacha mambo ya utoto, sasa umekuwa mtu mzima. Hataki kusikia. Mkimwongelesha mkistukia saa 10 amerudi uwanjani na watoto.
Jana boys.
Mkubwa sana, yeye ako huku juu, watoto wako huku chini. You know? And could easily tell you there's something that this boy maybe didn't go through.
Maybe you need to understand this, Bwana Kagi, is that watu wengi wanaotahiri watoto siku hizi hawaangalii miaka ya kutahiri mtoto. Kuna wale wanatahiriwa wakiwa wadogo, vile Yesu alitahiriwa akiwa na siku 8. Wengine wanafanyiwa tohara wakiwa watoto wadogo sana. Hiyo ni kumaanisha tohara halimsaidii mtoto kuelewa transitioning. Na ni vizuri kuelewa ya kwamba, that's why I'm saying, kwa wale wanaifanya kwa sababu ya medical purposes, watafikiria atahiriwe at any stage. Kwa wale wanaiangalia kama a cultural practice, a rite of passage, wanataka miaka fulani utitimize sheria za kabila lako, traditions na kadhalika. Kwa hivyo kile kinafanya uone vijana hata wanapotahiri si vijana ambao wanakomaa na wanarudi kukaa na wale vijana wadogo, kucheza mipira, na tabia za ujana hazikuondoka ndani yao ile dogo. Ni kwa sababu wazazi wengi hawapeleki watoto wao kutahiriwa kwa sababu ya kukomaa. Wanawapeleka na sababu zingine. Ndio unaona mtoto ametahiriwa lakini huwezi jua kama bado ama huyo ni kama bado ama namna gani. Ukiziangalia for example from where I come from, ni rahisi sana kuelewa kijana aliyetahiri kwa sababu kuna mafundisho kadhaa. Lakini pia utaelewa mtoto bado kwa sababu utaangalia na hii tabia, huyu ni kama bado. Lakini ni vizuri kuelewa ni wazazi wanaochangia. Unapopeleka mtoto wako atahiriwe, kila mtu na sababu zake.
And many years back, those men who were there that time, they were very strict on that circumcision. At a point whereby if they could identify you as a boy, the things that you used to do before, you just continue doing them. Just tell someone, no, we need to verify.
Walikuwa wanakuitia watu wa kuangalia.
Walisema waangalie wa confirm kwa sababu
tu confirm kama wewe ulipitia hii hali. Ile tabia uko nayo.
Wanakutime tu. Wanaambia lazima tuchunguze huyu kijana kama alipitia tohara kwa sababu tabia yake na tohara ambayo inapelekana na tabia hazipelekani.
Hata niliona mara nyingi walitahiri wanaume. Mtu alipitwa na hiyo nafasi, akaendelea kukaa katikati ya watu wa Mungu lakini hajisemi.
Amejificha
siku moja anajulikana. Sijui anajua gaji. Alafu unasikia mtu anatahiriwa akiwa mwanaume. One day niliona wamewekelea mtu kwa mkokoteni. Akiwa hana nguo. Ndio kila mtu ajue ni mwanaume kipii. Hajatahiriwa. Alafu walikuwa wanaenda wakisema saidieni huyu. Na watu walichanga. Na akatahiriwa akiwa mzee mkubwa. So from where I come from, I think circumcision and where you and me come from, circumcision is a big thing. But it's good to understand those who don't practice circumcision are not sinning. They are not less righteous. As far as God is concerned, circumcision or no circumcision, it doesn't change your relationship with God. And because of that, those who are also doing it for other reasons, that is medical reasons, they can do it at any age. And you see so many children are circumcised even when they are small. And that simply means circumcision is not enough to help the child transit. There is need for more parenting and understanding the parenting after circumcision is also another whole issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being a pastor, I know you have observed the previous system
Yes.
of going through initiation and the current one whereby the church is coming in a big way to be able to take up this matter. I don't know, what is your comparison between the two systems?
I think we would compare circumcision then and circumcision now. I think there was a gap. And the gap was we could learn so many things that has to do with our tribes. Sometimes we learned so many things about our bodies and all that. Lakini kufundishwa mambo ya kukomaa kiroho unapokomaa kimwili haikuwepo. Na ndio unaona kanisa linapoingilia, kwa sababu we also need to incorporate spiritual maturity and spiritual understanding to circumcision. The next thing ni kwamba sasa hata imebadilika. Wanaume wale wanaotahiri vijana siku hizi, mafundisho imekuwa mengi. So kile kanisa inajaribu kufanya ni kutorokea ni kutorokea mafundisho machafu na practices ambazo mtoto anakuwa oriented to, kumtoa huko baadaye inakuwa gumu. Lakini unaona circumcision is not a big deal mpaka mtoto anakuwa kitu ingine. Anahitaji kupitia hiyo kipindi imsaidie, sio imharibu. Na isio kumsaidia tu traditionally, culturally, ama kikabila. Inafaa kumsaidia pia katika maisha yake, katikati yake na Mungu. Na ndio maana kanisa linaingilia, kwa sababu tumeanza kuelewa ya kwamba mafundisho ya kiroho na ya kidini na mafundisho ya Biblia ni ya muhimu, just the way we do cultural teachings and traditional teachings. Hata kanisa linahitaji kuanza kusaidia watoto kumwelewa Mungu wakiwa wachanga. Then the other thing you need to understand, zamani wale walikuwa wanasimamia wale wanatahiriwa, ulikuwa unakuta pia wengine wao hata hawamjui Mungu. So mambo ya pombe, sigara, ulikuwa unavudishwa, unajifundisha mambo hayo. Ukitoka hapo, si uliona ilikifanywa karibu na wewe?
Yote iko hapo
yote unatoka nayo. Mafundisho mengine machafu unayofundishwa pale, ukishamaliza unakuta ya kwamba kichwa yako inahitaji kufanyiwa reboot kwa sababu ya mambo mengi ambayo unalani pale.
Kijana alikuwa mzuri, hakujua kuvuta sigara, hakujua kuvuta bangi, lakini baada ya wiki mbili
akitoka kule kijana ni kitu ingine. So that's why unasema I really appreciate that the church has embraced practicing circumcision for the boys, because we also need to take care of our children. Must we leave them to anybody? Must we throw our boys to any men who are circumcising and really studying in that gap for our children? No. We also need to take up the matter and say, these are our children. We can walk with them every stage of their lives. Si kuachia mtoto ujue anafundishwa nini, ujue anatoka huko akijua nini. Na ni kweli wengine ni Mungu alituhurumia. Mafundisho yale unasikiaga wakati wa tohara, mengine usiposaidiwa na Mungu, ufanyiwe cleaning ya mental cleaning, na utoke hapo ukiwa ujielewi, unaweza haribika. Sasa kanisa linafaa kuelewa ya kwamba kuna mambo we need to borrow from our culture, na kuna mambo tunafaa kuangalia uone haifai. If there are cultural practices and teachings that are not anti-Christ, we can borrow that and incorporate with our spiritual disciplines. Lakini kuachilia kijana na wanaume na huko nyimbo za kila aina, unajua ni kelele zilikuwa zinaweka watuma nyimbo, uwezi elewa nini naongeangwa huko. Kila mtu anaongeaga na nguvu, radio iko juu, so ujui mtoto wako analia ama anapiga duru. Unaweza kupigwa, unaweza kuteswa. Sasa unakuta ya kwamba hii mambo ya tohara kanisa haikuwa inaingilia, it was a gap. But now we can really appreciate that the church has is coming up on this matter, and I encourage that the church to continue having these programs instead of releasing their children to anybody. Hapo ndio wanaenda wanafundishwa na wazee wa mitaa, na wanaingia kwa vikundi ambavyo vinakaa sect, vikundi ambazo ni traditional, zinawafundisha tabia ambayo mtoto huyu hata ukijaribu kumcontrol after kutahiriwa anakuwa kitu kingine, completely kitu kingine.
Yes.
So that's why I'm encouraging the church. Let's go on.
That point, regarding to the traditional way of doing it and the church way, from where you sit, have you been experiencing maybe the collision between the tradition program and the church program? Has there been a collision? Maybe guys who are coming to you and telling you, no, you should not train our child in the church. This is our job.
Every new move, Mr. Kagi, comes with people who feel we shouldn't go this direction. But slowly by slowly, everybody keep on adapting it, accepting it, because you have no choice.
Yes.
So nowadays, what is happening, initially when the church took over, you could see a lot of complaints from men, wala wazee, wanajitaka wazee kamili. Unaanza kusema kanisa linawezaje kushughulikia mambo ya tohara. And then finally ikaenda mwaka ingine, miaka ingine, and I think right now,
they embrace.
They have to embrace, because even if they don't embrace, nobody care.
Yeah.
We are taking care of our boys within our church walls, within our church compounds, or we find a hotel somewhere and we do it as a church and ensure we know what our children learned during their transitioning.
All right.
So we have not, I must say, that experience of collision is there. But slowly by slowly, even those who are not actually accepting it are embracing it because they have no choice.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think as we take a short break, it's good to mention that we also want to salute the allowing even our girls to go through the transition.
Not circumcision.
No.
Transition.
Right, you are watching Men Matters on MBCI TV. Reverend Samuel Mahoya is with us, and we're talking about the boys to manhood. If you have a question, 23814 is our SMS number, 0721-105-105 WhatsApp number. We are taking a short break. When you come back, we have much more for you.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Reverend Davis Kisotu, Senior Pastor, House of Miracles, Redeemed Gospel Church, Narok Town.
Na Mungu ameificha nguvu nyuma ya mawasiliano ama sauti.
Invites you to one of a kind power conference dubbed Prophetic Summit. Theme: Revival of Fire. Guest ministers: Apostle John Kimani Williams.
You are equipped with the grace, with the power.
Bishop Harrison Nganga.
Prayer is like breathing. If you stop praying, the devil will take advantage of it.
Apostle Julius Subi.
God was preparing us.
And Apostle Martin Suna. Come and experience grace, favor, and extraordinary fire and power from Abba. All are welcome. The meeting is free and open to all.
My name is David Ogola. I'm a business person. I would say naturally when I was in high school, I used to tell people that I would want to be a business person. Then there's this uncle of mine who used to come from Nairobi to visit us, and he had money.
Yes.
He had the money in a briefcase. I was asking, what do you do? I used to hear him saying, I'm doing sales. I'm not yet there, but I'm on that direction.
Yeah.
So I would want to give also another platform for people who are like me, who had a vision somewhere and they need a platform where they can excel. That is what I want to create. You have to be up to date because things keep changing every day. Marketing is a very, very interesting course or career for someone to pursue. It's lifestyle. It's what you live.
We believe in the extraordinary potential of every child. That is why at Greengate Academy, our aim is to equip and transform learners. Our mission is to provide high-quality education in a conducive Christian environment.
Jesus in the heart. Jesus in the heart. Jesus in the heart.
We have embraced the competency-based curriculum and have collaborated with our dedicated team of experienced educators to mine your child's potential by imparting them with relevant skills. We have incorporated a special needs program that is tailored to ensure continuous improvement for your child. Here, we encourage creativity by engaging them in co-curriculum activities like sports, games, and maximizing on digital literacy through innovation. We are keen on your child's health, thus providing nutritious meals. Transport-wise, we've got you covered. Discover the unlimited opportunities awaiting your child today. Contact us on 0702 730 987 or email us on greengateschools@gmail.com. Enroll your child today and let their journey of a lifetime begin. Greengate Academy, raising the standard.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Right, welcome back to the Men Matters Friday, and we are talking about the Boys to Manhood with Reverend Sami Mahoya. If you have a question, 23814 is our number. Mchungaji, yes. All this process needs a lot of support for these boys.
Yes.
Right from our home, because the church has done its role, maybe in the next 14 days or something. Then the church released the boy to the family. Now, how do our parents need to do and help a boy after circumcision?
As I said earlier, circumcision for your boy child is not enough. After the 14 days in their sacred places, sacred houses, in those places where they are undergoing this rite of passage, my advice to every father, every mother, every parent is that circumcision is not enough, because circumcision is an event. Life is a journey, and the child still have a journey to walk in this life. He needs more than circumcision. So, number one, after circumcision, as a parent, do not neglect or get uninterested with your boy's life. Kutahiriwa si kufika. Mtoto anahitaji kuhakikisha kwamba bado akona relationship na mzazi wake ambayo inaweza kumsaidia. And this is the advice I want to give to every parent who is also having a child who is undergoing circumcision or rite of passage or a transitioning. Number one, after circumcision, your child still needs you as a parent. You are still the parent of that child. So don't throw that boy to the society. Don't throw that boy to other men. That's still your child. It's only that you could not be the one to take care of the circumcision, and it was just a small event. It's over. And when it's over, take up your role of parenting. May I say, number one, for you to continue parenting your child after circumcision, one of my advice is that you need to build a new relationship with your child. You cannot continue treating your child as though they are still children, as small children. Badilisha vile unatembea na unaongea na yeye, vile mnaishi. Build a new relationship, because it's a parental stage, and this stage comes with changes. You have to change the way you parent your boy. Secondly, you really need to establish clear communication with your boy. The fact that the boy has undergone circumcision, don't throw away talking or sending people to talk to your boy. I see sometimes when boys are circumcised, baba hawezi ongelesha huyo mtoto, anatuma yule aliyemsimamia. Hapana, bado uko na nafasi ya kupatia mtoto wako mawaidha, ya kuzungumza mambo yatakayomsaidia katika maisha. Wewe kama mama na kama baba, mtoto kutahiri hajafika, lazima ukubali kuwa na maongeo mazuri na kijana yako. Jambo la tatu ni kwamba unahitaji kubadilisha, you adjust your parenting style. Ni vizuri uelewe ya kwamba the style of parenting after circumcision need to change. If you are an authoritative parent, you need to know that your boy also want to make some decision. Kuna mambo amefundishwa akitoka tohara, ameanza kuambiwa mara kwa mara, sasa umekomaa, sasa umetahiri, sasa uache hii, sasa uache ile. Na wewe bado unataka kumtreat kama mtoto mdogo. Lazima ubadilishe parenting style. Jinsi ambavyo ulikuwa unakaa na mtoto huyo kabla hajatahiri, ni kubadilisha ututu, wabadilisha, ufanye kitu inaitwa parental adjustment. Ili mtoto asikia kwamba ni kweli hata mama anatabua, kuna kiwango cha maisha nimevuka. Jambo lingine ningetaka kusema, offer good and timely advice to your child, but leave a room for the child to also think for himself. Ni vizuri kuelewa ya kwamba don't become authoritative, an authoritarian, ya kwamba simply because you are still the father and the mother, mtoto hana say hata kama ametahiri. Hapana, ni vizuri kuelewa mtoto anapotoka kufanyiwa tohara, mafundisho yale yamekutana ya kuambiwa amekomaa, unafaa kuelewa pia anafikiria. Na kwa sababu anafikiria, mpatie nafasi hata yeye kufikiria kile anataka. Naona wazazi wengi wana force mtoto kufanya course fulani shule. Wengine wanamwambia lazima ufanye hii, lazima ufanye ile. Ni vizuri kuelewa saa hii unahitaji kuwa na mazungumzo na mtoto wako akitahiriwa, maana hatoki hapo akifikiria vile alikuwa anafikiria kabla. Ni siku 14 ndio, lakini zimeleta mabadiliko makubwa kwa mawazo. Kwa hivyo kubali kupatiana advice, kubali kusikiza kile anaona, alafu you discuss together. Inaitwa being authoritative, but still at the same time you are also giving the child a room to think about what they want in life. Then the other tip I would want to say is, as a parent, continue leading by example. Hata kama mtoto ametahiri, you need to be a father who lead by example, because bado atakuangalia, bado anakusikiza, na bado anajaribu kuimitate. Na kwa sababu ukikosa kuwa example mzuri after circumcision, huyo mtoto anaweza kuiga vijana huko kwa mtaa, aingie kwa mambo ambayo haifai. Jambo lingine, spend quality time with your boy even after circumcision. Naonaga after circumcision, mzee, mama na baba wamekuachilia, wameachana na wewe, wanasema sasa umekomaa, chapa njia, you are on your own. No, that should not be the case. Please find the time with your boy, spend quality time. Ni kutahiri haugetahiri kijana yako, lakini maisha itaendelea ya kumsaidia mahali ambapo anahitaji msaada wa mzazi. Ila uelewe ya kwamba kuna mambo anaweza kujifanyia na kujiamulia. Usije ukamwekea mipaka ambayo ulimwekea akiwa mdogo. After kutahiriwa, bado mzazi uko na kazi ya kufanya. Wengine wanafaa kuendelea kusomeshwa, wengine wanafaa kupewa msaada, waweze kuendelea katika maisha. So tohara haitoshi. Bado tuna kibarua na kazi ya kufanya kama wazazi, kuendelea kulea yule mtoto, lakini umlee ukilegeza kamba, kwa sababu hayuko mtoto tena vile alivyokuwa. Na wale ambao wamekuwa na watoto na wasichana ambao pia walikuwa wanavuka, isiwe tu umepeleka msichana wako akaingia kwa program ya transitioning, lakini bado wewe haujabadilika kama mzazi, hujabadilisha maongeo, hujabadilisha tabia, hata discipline yako inafaa kwenda kiwango kingine. Una discipline mtu ambaye amekuwa kwa mafundisho ya siku kadhaa. Huyo mtu kuna mambo anaelewa. So kwa hivyo ningetaka kuambia wazazi wote ambao wamekuwa na watoto ambao wametahiri, bado hujamaliza kulea, bado una kibarua, ila avoid doing parenting the same way you have been doing it. And remember, unapoendelea kumlea mtoto huyu, muombe Mungu kama mzazi. Mbariki, muombe ili aweze kusimama katika maisha, na hata yakuwe mzazi siku moja aliyewezana na maisha. That's what I can advise for today.
Thank you so much. And before we go to the book insight, I want just to recognize those who are watching us live. They are quite a number.
Yes.
Ruth Kimani, thank you for finding time to watch MBCI TV, the Men Matters Friday. Mwangi Wairagu, thank you so much for finding time to watch our program. And also Naomi Achis, thank you. You're saying amen, my mentor. And I believe that many people are being blessed by the program this day. And there are so many, but because of time, it's good to look at Mchungaji, the book insight, maybe what you have for us today.
Yes.
As we wind up this program on the Boy to Manhood. But still, if you want to do SMS, there's still room for that.
There's a book here on 21 qualities of a spiritual leader. And I believe every parent is a spiritual leader to their children.
Yes.
To their children. As a parent, you are not just a mother and a father. You are also a spiritual leader to your child.
Right.
A spiritual leader, what I mean here, is help your children understand spiritual matters. Choose the right direction to follow as far as spirituality is concerned, and also help them to love God.
Yeah.
And one of the quality of being a spiritual father, spiritual mother, who is also a leader to the child, is that I will talk only about this one quality. In my book about 21 qualities of a spiritual leader, becoming a leader worth following, or becoming a parent worth following. You know, there are parents children cannot follow because they are afraid. They are afraid you are not headed the right direction. But a good father is worth following.
Yeah.
A good mother. And a spiritual leader is a mentor of others. And I want to say this because this is very, very critical to every parent, that you need to be a mentor to your children.
Yes.
They need to hear that you mentor them. Apostle Paul mentored many, and Timothy was one of them. And in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2, he says, "You have heard me teach these things that have been confirmed by many reliable witnesses. Now teach these truths to other trustworthy people who will be able to pass them on to others." Paul is telling Timothy, you have heard me teach you. In other words, I have mentored you.
Right.
And I have done that when others are also witnessing. Go now do the same to others. And as a father and a mother, you need to mentor your child knowing the child will also mentor another child.
True.
Because one day they'll become a father, they'll become a mother, and they'll need to mentor their children. And one of the things I would say, a mentor is a trusted guide, a counselor, a friend. A mentor is serving another person with proper advice, timely counsel, and you have an experience. When I talk about mentorship, mentors are those people who have been into it.
Right.
And they're able to tell the other person how it look like. Therefore, as a parent, you have been in this journey of being a boy, and you have come this far. Offer timely advice, how you have managed. That's what we call mentorship. And in this book, I've talked about characteristic of a good mentor. So as a father and a mother, if you want to be a good mentor, there's a characteristic of a good mentor here. Number one is the ability to readily see potential in a person. Lazima uangalie mtoto wako uone kile anakaa kufanyika. Uone kile kinaoneka, vipawa zake, gift zake, talent zake, ability zake. Have the eyes that see potential.
Hapo tuko na shida sana.
Wazazi wetu wengi bwana.
Hapo kuna shida. Atunauliza mtoto wako anaweza fanya nini? Mimi sijuagi.
Hata sio hivyo tu. Ulikuwa unasikia ukimaliza shule, haoni potential. Sasa wewe ni kukula tu. Enda ukalime. Lakini hata huna time ya kukaa chini. As a mentor, you must see potential
in that child.
Jaribu kuona beyond the weakness, beyond mistakes, beyond the age. Ona kile mtoto ako capable of becoming. That's one of the characteristics of being a mentor. See potential.
Beautiful.
Number two, tolerate mistakes. Unajua, mentors are people who don't make your mistake an enemy. You don't, simply because someone has made a mistake, your child has done something wrong, don't make mistake become an enemy. Or a good mentor does tolerate mistakes because they see potential and they know these mistakes will also become part of preparation. Number 3 is what we call flexibility in responding to a person. Be flexible. Ni kumaanisha wakati una mentor mtu usikuwe the same way all through. Jaribu kuangalia wakati mwingine unahitaji kuwa firm, wakati mwingine unahitaji kumuonea huruma, wakati mwingine patia challenge, wakati mwingine give a simple advice. Wakati mwingine tembea na yeye.
Kuwa simba 24/7.
Usikuwe simba, uwezi kuwa simba na umente mtu. Lazima uelewe, you need to be flexible as a mentor.
Yeah.
Leo jua ni wakati wa kukemea, kesho jua ni wakati wa kupeana advice, kesho jua ni wakati wa kutembea na mtu katika ile hali anapitia, kesho ingine ni ya kupeana tu advice uondoke. So be flexible as a mentor. So mentors are flexible.
Right.
Characteristic number 4, patience. Good mentors are patient. If you want to be a mentor, you must learn to understand that things take time. People develop progressively. There is no instant maturity. People don't grow in a day. So you need to be patient as you mentor your boy, as you mentor another person. That they are growing progressively, not instantly. And therefore you need to be patient. The behavior you see today, tomorrow there will be no more. What they value today, tomorrow it will become valueless. So as a mentor, be patient. Number 5 is what we call a perspective. Perspective ni nini kwa mentorship? Ni kuweza kuona barabara vile inakaa mbele ya huyo mtu na huku mbele, na ujaribu kuona ni nini anaweza kuhitaji. Usimuone saa hii. Kuwa na a proper perspective ya kwamba you can see beyond the age today for this child. Try to see they will one day get married. Wataoa, wataolewa. So as a mentor, you have an eye that sees the life of the person you mentor beyond now. And then the last one, this is number 6. You need to have a gift and a talent, a gift and ability to encourage and build up another person. A mentor have a gift and ability to encourage, to mentor, to work with another person. If you want to mentor your boy, these qualities are very, very important. Then the other one, number 7, is availability. Characteristic of a mentor, you are available to your mentee, and your mentee in this case is your boy. If you want your boy to become a man, you need to be available. You cannot mentor your boy in a distance. In a distant relationship, mentorship doesn't happen. You need to work with your boy with a lot of availability. Then be accessible. Mentors are people who are accessible. You are reachable, accessible, and available. Sometimes people think you can mentor in your absence. That's not the case. Your boy need you to be accessible. Don't be usikue siba kila wakati. Mtoto anataka kuona, anaweza kukaribia, mnaweza ongea, mnaweza discuss, mnaweza exchange opinion. Usikue siba kama unataka kuwa mentor kwa vijana na wasichana wako. As a father, I also want to say, this is how you can help your child as a mentor. This is how you can help your boy as a father and as a mentor. Number 1, give timely advice to your boy. Kama unataka kusaidia mtu ukiwa mentor wake, mentors give timely advice. Number 2, you can also bridge, you create a bridge between where your boy is to where he should be. Become the bridge. Kubali utumike, mtoto wako afike mahali anafaa kuingia. A good mentor creates a bridge between where the child is and where the child should be able to go. And then the other one, you need to model expectation. Don't just tell your child what to do, how to speak, how to do things, yet you are not a role model in that line. A good mentor is a role model. What you tell them to do is what you do. Don't tell them not to drink, yet you are a drunkard. The children doesn't connect between their advice and the lifestyle you are living. And finally, I will say, give financially to them, sometimes sacrificially, to further their calling and career, to further their education. Sacrifice financially as a mentor to your child. Go work hard, sacrifice. See that they get the best education. And then, if in case you are a parent, you have a job, you have a business, co-work with your boy. You can co-work with them if they want. Tell them to help you. If they don't feel they are called to that line, it doesn't mean you force them. But you can request for once in a while to co-work with you, because that's the time you build a bonding. That's the time they understand your heart. You also understand their heart. And then give them freedom to make their own choices. The fact that you are mentoring someone, do not become an authoritarian. Do not be a decision maker for that person. Give timely advice. Help them to see the pros and cons of what they are thinking. Lakini kama mentor, always give a room for them to be able to make their own decision. May God bless you as you raise your boy, as they transit. I pray that God will help your boy not to get lost. May your boy become a man the society need, a man the church need. May your boy become the help of this country, the help of this society. Even after circumcision, I pray there will be no destiny hijackers for your child. The child will not be hijacked by wicked men, corrupt men, evil men, traditionalists ambao wameshika maisha ya vijana na kuwaharibu. May God save your boy from all this. I wish you success as you parent that boy, as you walk with your boy after circumcision. There is hope for your child. Don't lose hope. Carry on, and your child will become what God has planned for him or her. Blessings.
Fantastic. Nice one.
Great.
It's very rich. May the Lord bless you so very much. I know there are many parents who have had the wisdom of taking care of their new transited boys. Na wamama waache kuwaogopa hao vijana. Au namna gani?
Wamama usiogope huyo kijana, bado mtoto wako. Na kaa chini mzungumze, anakupenda. Boys love their mother. Usiogope kijana kwa sababu ametahiriwa. Ni kanyama tu kadogo kametolewa, lakini hajapatiwa weapons za kukuua. Mama usiogope kijana juu ametahiriwa. Bado yeye ndiye mama. Kaa naye, mpatie mawaidha, muongereshe, mkanye mahali anafaa kukanywa, lakini tumia lugha ambayo haikosi heshima, kwa sababu anajihisi ni wanaume. Usikose heshima, hapo ndio uoga inakujanga.
Asante.
Good.
I want to thank you, Mchungaji, for finding time to come and for your insightful presentation today.
Great.
And I believe that as you continue with the rest of the programs, by God's grace, more is coming.
Great. See you next Friday.
Yeah.
Same time.
My name is Paul Kagi. I want to thank you for being together with us. Hadi wiki ijayo majaliwa yake Mwenyezi Mungu. Mimi nasema ni asante sana na kutakia weekend njema.